This is my third time seeing this film, and my first time seeing it legally. Don't at me. So yeah, I'ma talk about it. So yeah, let's discuss Bo Burnham's 8th grade.
Given that's how we live it, don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in the business.
So, the story of this flick is a young girl named Kayla is experiencing her last week of 8th grade. And as someone who has also experienced his last week of 8th grade, I'd like to say this book was accurate. And I'm not a teenage girl. As hard as that is to believe, I do not have the looks to pull that off. But Kayla, you see, Kayla is a teenage girl. So she goes through all the typical teenage things. Let's see what happens. She meets a nerdy boy with a big nose. She has a YouTube channel where no one watches her videos. I can relate, am I right, guys? She gets sexually harassed in a car, which, in all seriousness, jokes aside, is one of the greatest scenes ever, and I did not think Bo Burnham was capable of writing something like that with an elegance and sincerity about him, and he wasn't. I still have a hard time believing that Bo Burnham wrote that scene or directed that scene. For those of you who don't know who Bo Burnham is, he is a singer, an artist, comedian, my favorite comedian of all time, because anyone who knows me personally knows at the time I have four comedians that I watch all the time. Bo Burnham, Bert Kreischer, Fluffy, aka Gabriel Iglesias, and John Mulaney, aka the voice of Andrew from Big Mouth, which is another very relatable show about middle school students, which actually came out when I was in middle school, so I related to it really well. This came out when I was in 8th grade. I am a sophomore in high school now. But yeah, I watched this the year it came out. I watched it again my freshman year, and then I found this at my local library, because I do not own the movie, although I would love to, on Blu-ray. And I saw the movie, and I gave it another shot. It's still great. One thing that stuck out to me is the performances. They're all good. Let's see if her name is not on here. Which is weird. Oh wait. Elsie Fisher plays Kayla. She does a good job at portraying a normal teenage girl. I knew people like Kayla. Some of my closest friends were Kaylas. I guess I was more like, what's his name? Yeah, Jake Ryan's character. I don't really remember his name, but I was more like him. He's the nerdy type, the kind who's always friend-zoned, but he's kind of okay with it. He's what I consider Kayla's a friend of mine, Kayla's big break throughout the entire whole ordeal. She's the one who's constantly being hated on by everyone except for her dad. And then this one boy comes along, gives her McNuggets, the only good thing at McDonald's, outside of the Big Mac, and kind of just has this whole conversation with her towards the end about Rick and Morty, which I'll get to the pop culture references after I make this small rant. Okay, so the school I go to, which if I haven't already named it, I'm not going to start now, we're close to a McDonald's, and a Wendy's, and a Subway, which is my favorite restaurant of all time. Wendy's and Subway are. But, this particular one, I'm in a movies club, so we were watching the movie Shawshank Redemption for the first time, and my dad takes me to go to the bathroom and for us to get a snack. I got a Big Mac and fries. He got a cheeseburger and fries, and I got a Coke. Anyway, before we decided that we would get snacks from here, it turns out that the entire place smelled like a bathroom, and I'm not kidding. It smelled like shit, which was weird because all the toilets and urinals were clean as fuck, and I know I checked them all. Someone shit their pants and they're just not saying anything. Way to go, McDonald's. Anyway, pop culture references. They're everywhere, but I love them so freaking much. What makes them good in this and all the product placement is, where the hell did my water go? Did I just lose my... Oh. You guys probably all saw that, and I didn't see that. In case you didn't, it was right here. Anyway. The pop culture references are really, really, like, they're in an abundance, but they make sense because it takes place in the real world. And in the real world, we have Coke, we have Mountain Dew, we have Rick and Morty. What makes them, like, annoying in other movies is they're like drawn attention to. Like one of my favorite movies of all time, Clerks, has a scene of product placement. He grabs Randall, my favorite character, grabs a Yoo-hoo and a snack cake, which I think was a Little Debbie snack cake. I do know that it had a actual logo on it, and I know that the film was shot in a quick stop, which is barely any of them exist anymore. But the one that Clerks was shot in is still up and running. Anyway, in it, Randall he shows up at work and he goes over and he takes a Yoo-hoo and a snack cake without paying for them, I might add, because that's Randall's character. He wouldn't pay for the Yoo-hoo and the snack cake from his own job, because he doesn't work there. He works across not across, but in the building next door at RST Videos, a video store. Kids Ask Your Parents. But he would just be paying, giving Dante money, which Dante would then put in the register and ring up and put in the register. And then he would walk behind the thing and eat his food. Randall ain't got that kind of time, so he just kind of grabs them and he says, Yoo-hoo, snack cake. It makes sense. Takes place in the real world, and they're not like, Randall doesn't turn to the camera and he's not like, kids, buy Yoo-hoo. It tastes like shit. He doesn't do any of that. Although I do have a soft spot for Yoo-hoo, even though it does taste like chocolate water. Literally, my mom got this little recipe book, and there is a recipe for making homemade Yoo-hoo. The majority of it is water. It is chocolate water. But refrigerated. I'm pretty sure if you had it after sitting out for a while, it'll taste like crap. Anyway, so there are a lot of pop culture references in here. Not too many, but enough. And the soundtrack for this is actually beautiful. Like, I don't really like EDM, which is electronic dance music. My favorite EDM song at the moment would be, I don't know, I think Addict, which is a song for Has Been Hotel. Or anything by Daft Punk, really, outside of Get Lucky. I hate that song so much. Faster, Stronger, Better. Anyway, I don't really like it, but there's a lot of that in here. There's also a lot of dubstep and a lot of group love sounding songs, although I'm kind of upset that no group love songs were actually in this. They could do BoJack Horseman, but they couldn't do 8th grade. They could do The Fault in Our Stars, but they couldn't do 8th grade. They could do Paper Towns, but they couldn't do 8th grade. they could write tongue-tied, but they couldn't do 8th grade. Bo, if you ever make a sequel to 8th grade, I don't know what you'd call it, 8th grade 2, no, 9th grade, just get your hands on some Group Love. They're fantastic. I don't think there's anything else to say, except I do want to talk about the realistic relationship between Kaylee and her dad, played by Josh Hamilton. So Hamilton's role in the movie is very minor, like criminally minor, considering how well of a job he does, but it makes sense. One of the most realistic scenes between him would either be the fire scene where Kayla burns all her stuff. There is no camping scene in this movie. Or by all her stuff, I mean she has a box of stuff that she was supposed to receive at 8th grade. She put all the stuff in there on her during her 6th grade year, and she wanted to burn her past, pretty much. It was symbolic. And so she has this whole conversation with her dad, which is a realistic conversation. Or the scene where you first really meet the dad, where Kayla is listening to music and no, not listening to music. Listening to music and on Instagram while eating, and she's barely listening to what her dad says, to the point where he's like, he says something about how cool it is that she's starting the year, and she's like, yeah, huh? Like as if she's trying to end the conversation as quickly as possible, and I can't deny how absolutely amazing that scene is. But yeah, if you haven't already checked out 8th grade, I can't recommend it enough. It is a beautiful, beautiful film, and I will see you guys in the next video.